Welcome to episode 3 of our Crusader Kings 2 playthrough, and we have a bit of a peasant revolt. Even though I treat people nicely. Oh dare the peasants rise up. So how do I raise an army? Good question. Let's go to the military. This screen gives you an overview of all your military assets and allows you to raise your levies and those of your vassals, either one by one or all at once. The Vassal tab lists all your direct vassals and their opinion of you. The less they like you, the smaller the part of their levies they will send when you raise them. Vassals will pay for the maintenance of their troops, even when under your command. Therefore, vassals will dislike you more for every year that you keep their levies raised. The Mercenaries tab lists all available mercenary companies that you can hire. Mercenaries are professional soldiers who fight well as long as they are paid well. But if your coffers run empty, they might decide to abandon you, or even defect to your enemies. The Holy Orders tab lists the great religious knighthoods. They can be employed like mercenaries, but instead of gold, it will cost you piety to raise them. However, you will still have to pay for their maintenance. The Holy Orders appear on their historical foundation dates and will only fight against heretics and infidels. Alright, so we don't have any retinues. Could eventually raise them. So that's like a standing army. These are... Retinue is your personal, professional, and standing army, ready to do as you order at all times. Unlike army levies, retinues are always on the map, and reinforce slowly. The maximum number of retinue regiments can be found depending on your military organization, technology, and the size of all the levies of your realm. Then we have our army levies. They can be raised from the domain holdings of and your direct vassals. You pay maintenance and levies for your own holdings, but your vassals will pay for the levies they provide to you, which makes them unhappy. Fleet levies. Alright. So we've got our mercenaries. There are no holy orders, no allies. So we will provide 40% of his troops versus why? He is more loyal to the Pope. Alright, so yeah. Okay. So our wife... No, my sister. I just get confused. They're named the same. They kind of look the same. Dear goodness. There's a lot going on in this with my character. So we will just raise... I just raise my own local forces. So we can do this from the county view, which we haven't really spent a lot of time in yet. Basically... Over an hour into the playthrough, now we're clicking on a county. Oh, that's larger than I expected. Very well. Units are collections of regiments or ships, which can be raised from holdings or provided by mercenaries or holy orders. Armies are organized into 3 parts, left flank, center, and right flank. Each part is led by one of the regiment commanders. The commander of the center is considered commander of the whole army. Armies take attrition losses in counties that cannot support them or supply them. Check the supply limit in the county view. Alright, we're gonna get to that. Let's see. Alright, so we are commanding the right flank. Just go crush some rebels. I suppose. Ruler present, you are currently marching with this army, bravely risking your own life. Oh dear, it seems the ungrateful peasants of Salamanca have revolted against you. To deal with the revolt, you will need to raise your levies. If you go to the military view, you will see the buttons that allow you to raise your personal levies and your vassal levies. By holding down the control, when you click the button, you will avoid raising levies in counties with enemy troops. Ah, got it. I'm thinking the smallest army, the better. For the smaller army, the better. Now, we can't rename ourselves, right? This isn't Stellaris. To move your armies around, simply click on the shield to start them. Yep, we know that. Okay, yeah. And, let's see. You can select armies by holding down your left mouse button during blah, blah. Yep. It is wise to gather your troops together before attacking the enemy. Excellent. It looks like almost every... the center might not hold. Whoa, why is the center so literally... Oh, man. Alright, let's shift you guys into the center. It's not the best choice, but it is a choice. So our center is going to be super weak, but our flanks will just make up for it, I'm hoping. That sounds like combat. The combat view. During combat, the three parts of both armies face off. Left flank against right flank, center against center, and right flank against left. Combat starts in skirmish phase, when archers and horse archers are paramount unit types. Eventually, the flanks will close with each other and enter the melee phase, where heavy infantry and knights shine. When a rank flees, its opponent will be in the pursue phase, trying to run down as many enemies as possible. Here, light cavalry is best. During each combat phase, flank commanders will pick a tactic depending on their martial skill, which likely determines how effectively their troops fight. I want the battle. Alright, the Battle of Ciudad Rodrigo. So yeah, our center is not the strongest, but we'll defeat them on the edges. Alright, so we have light infantry. Oh, they're trying to pursue, but they've broken. Good. I don't really know what's going on, but I think we're winning. You are now ready to make peace. To do this, click on the war icon in the bottom right of the screen. You can also right-click on the portrait of the character you are fighting. Open their diplomacy menu. Victory! Alright, so we took 13 casualties. The enemy was almost wiped out. Peasant revolt, we will offer peace. I guess we'll enforce the demands. We don't really have any demands. I'm not sure. We are totally beaten. Peasant revolt for Salamanca has ended. King Alfonso of Leon has won. Alright. Cool. I mean, it's just there to, like, teach it. This is sort of... Every Paradox game has this. More interested in the other... I think we'll just have to discover a lot of mechanics on our own, sort of. But you dealt with the revolt nicely. Now that you are at peace, it would be nice to dismiss, or wise, to dismiss your levies. Having raised personal levies will cost you money, and vassals will get angry. Alright. Let's go to our military page, and... yeah, the levies are gone. There we go, we took off our little martial thing. Erica is in hiding. What? What's that mean? Is it because... What? Now would be a good time to consider expanding your realm. The easiest targets for military expansion are small neighboring realms. However, since you need to know about fleet operations, let's pick Canarias, a single county realm just off the coast of West Africa. Canaris? Oh, Canaries. Canaries, yes, Canaries. Ah, Canaries. Held by Chief Guaniargato of Canaries. Got it. Alright, so we'll get to learn about boats and sail over here. Sail! Who's fighting? What's going on? What is going on, brother? Oh, he is defending against Sheik. Of Alcantara. The Sheikdom. Emir Abu Bakr. Sheik of Alcantara. Okay, it's just this northern bit here, I guess. Trying to invade, but they will hold them back. Hopefully. In order to go to war in Crusader Kings 2, you'll need a casus belli, a just cause. A valid casus belli could be, for example, pressing a claim on a province that is rightfully yours. Waging a holy war against infidels. Got it. Alright, let's, Alright, so he is an African pagan, married to Chiefess Basili of Canalis. Claims can be obtained in several ways. First, you will usually get claims on any titles inherited by your siblings when your parents die. Rulers who lose titles in a war, for example, will also get claims on any lost lands. Lastly, of course, claims can also be fabricated by a crafty ruler. Since Canarius is so distant, you can, unfortunately, not use the Holy War casus belli, so you must fabricate a claim. I see. Tell me more. To fabricate claims, open your council view and assign your chancellor to fabricate claim, and place him on the county of Canarius. You do this by clicking on the Fabricate Claims button, and then the province on the map. You can assign a job like this to all of your council members. They can also do one job at a time. Alright, let's learn about the council. Every ruler has a council to help administer the realm. Each of the 5 positions on the council has a primary attribute: diplomacy, martial, stewardship, intrigue, and learning. Counselor's skill value is added to the rulers for all matters of state. So we have our Chancellor, who's all about diplomacy, Count Pedro of Valladolid, the Marshal, Count Diego of Astrales de Oviedo, the Steward, Bishop Fruels of Guadad Rodrigo, the Spymaster, Count Sancho of Astorga, and the Court Chaplain, Bishop Diego of Valencia de Campos. Alright, counselors can be sent to a county on the map to perform various jobs. For example, Court Chaplain can be dispatched to convert counties, the characters in them, to your religion. Characters will like you better for being entrusted with a position on the council, but they will also resent being dismissed from it. Some characters dream of attaining a council position. Granting them their wish will make them grateful towards you. Alright, let's have our Chancellor fabricate a claim. Oh, he's busy doing it, being all stinky. Excellent. How long will he take? So, currently in the Canaries to fabricate a claim. And it will take some time. Alright. When you have moved all your armies to the same province, select them, and then drag the Merge Troops button in an army window to merge them into a single army. You can also assign and change the leaders of your army, clicking on the name bar above each flank. Leaders can help you win battles, but there is always the risk of getting injured or even killed. Interesting. Right, it is a deep proposal. My liege, my work in the Canaries has come to some fruition. By bribing, cajoling, extorting, threatening, and forging documents, I have managed to fabricate claim on the Sheikdom of Canaries, presently held by Chief Guanarargicato. I leave it up to you whether or not to use it, your humble Chancellor. That is expensive. Use it. Alright, we now have a claim, and it's time to let slip the dogs of war. Click on the Canaries province and right-click on the ruler portrait in the county view. Select Declare War in the Diplomacy menu. Claim Canary Casus Belli. Send the war declaration. Alright. So we have a Casus Belli. They have no allies. The council votes yes. 5 votes for, 2 against. You have 7 seats on your council. The majority of those must be voting yes, with the liege breaking ties. Empty seats are considered to be voting no. Oh, cool. Glory Hound, Glory Hound. There's no glory in this war. The enemy is too weak. This is voting starter. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, this is, I think Conclave added this. Pragmatist, the Loyalist. This voter is a Loyalist and will vote like the liege. Pragmatist. Oh, these are... I like these things. I like the little descriptions. Pragmatist. The opponent is much weaker than us, or the target land is part of our de jure territory. We are not accepted with another war. We are not occupied with another war, I should say. Versus the Zealot. The war would depose a wicked pope. The war is against a religious enemy. The war is against an excommunicated character, or an anti-pope. The target is not an anti-pope of another religion, or there's an ongoing crusade that I want us to focus on. So that's... wow, where's that? My council. That's cool. Okay, so you have like malcontents, zealots, glory hounds, pragmatists, and loyalists. We'll get into that later on, I imagine. But that's awesome. That looks really cool. Alright, we're going to be at war. If you have allies, they will always join automatically in all your wars. Some allies, like tribal vassals, will have to be called into your wars to join them, if they accept. So I like that also, that there's a little extra layer of stuff going on, of diplomacy. It's all about personalities. That's why I think it'd be awesome if you could rename people. When attacking across a strait or river, you will get a penalty for that fight. Click on a province and hover over the river icon, if any. See which borders the river and straits are. Note that if the target province is under siege, you will need to toggle from siege view to province view. Go ahead and clash the peasant rebel. What? We already... okay. Local... let's see. Let's raise the local fleet. 14 galleys. Alright, let's, jeez. That should probably be enough. Bring the army, assemble the army. Load capacity. If you are fighting an overseas enemy, you will need to raise your fleet. In order to do so, you'll open the military view, as you did, raising your armies, then navigate to fleet levies. You should raise your troops and move them to the coastal county, Astrad de Davar. We have no personal fleet. Alright, you have a new heir. If your character dies now, you will play as Fernando. Or not. Do I not get to name him? Is he all inbred? Well, that's good. So far, no. Kind of looks like Luke Skywalker. Vaguely. Not directly. His son was born to King Alfonso of Leon and Queen Urca of Leon, named Fernando. For some time now, my wife Queen has been avoiding me. She has not visited my bedchamber for several weeks. She was literally pregnant. And I have demanded to know why she was giving me nothing but feeble excuses. Today I overheard a couple of her servants gossiping. They said Urca has contracted syphilis. What? I thought syphilis was from the New World. I will show that vile boar. I like that they're like, let's not... yeah. What I do with traitors. The poor thing, I will do what I can for her. Shouldn't believe everything you hear. Surely there's another reason. Traitor. Harsh punishment. Does she has the great pox. Oh, later known as syphilis. Why? What? How did... do I have syphilis? Jeez, how did my... wow. Yeah. I will imprison her. I mean, it gives me an opportunity to marry someone else. How do I look at my imprisoned people? There we go. Now I imagine if I executed her, that would be... the rest of the family would not be so happy with that, right? But she has syphilis. Execute imprisoned. I mean, let's just see. Execute. Using this option is viewed as tyrannical. It will lower all your vassals' opinion of you by -10. Execution will cost you 20. Also consider to yeah, I forgot about that. Alright, never mind. We're not going to kill you. But I'm disappointed. Is there any way to know what her health is? Or is that more of like, it's unhealthy if someone's having in prison and stuff? Alright, you now have a son and heir. The realm follows agnatic cognatic gavelkind law, which means that daughters inherit only if there are no sons, and all titles will be distributed among your children upon death. Available succession laws and gender laws can be seen under the laws view. Excellent. Alright, so we're assembling the army. It appears you don't have enough ships to transport the army. Sometimes when you're at war, the levies from your domain and your vassals just might not be enough. In these cases, it is wise to... holy moly, I have a lot of money. It is wise to hire mercenaries. This can be done via the Mercenaries tab in the military view. Newly hired mercenaries arrive in your capital county. They are very expensive, both to hire and maintain. Take a look at the mercenary composition before you hire them. Some are made entirely out of armies, while others consist only of fleets. Hire some naval mercs. They will spawn in a sea area west of your realm. Alright, we've got Adriatic galleys. Is that enough? Guess we'll find out. We'll just hire as many as we need. The Leonese fleet. Alright, looks like we'll need a few more ships. Fernando should be baptized as soon as possible, so that his place in heaven can be assured, given that he is the heir of Lyon. I should make sure that the rite celebrating his coming into the world is as grandiose as possible. Only the Pope is fit to baptize him. He will be officiated by the head of the Catholic Church, or a regular baptism will do. We have the money and the... yeah, let's do it. Only the Pope. After news spread about the grandiose ceremony I am preparing for Fernando's baptism, several of my subjects clamored to be chosen as the child's godparent. My sister, Queen Erika of Navarre, heir to the Kingdom of Lyon. Let's do that. Let's have her be the godmother. She'll be perfect. Pope Alexander II washes the child 3 times over, reciting a prayer to protect his soul, surrounded by a host of cardinals. Then he raises little Fernando up for all the crowd gathered in the great cathedral to see, exposing him to the cheers of his future subjects. What a priceless sight. Baptized by the Pope. That is a cool... yeah, this character was baptized by the Pope himself, with great pomp and circumstance, during a magnificent ceremony that will not be soon forgotten. Wonderful. As is tradition, my wife Erica underwent her churching after recovering and cleansing herself from the recent pregnancy. She felt much better when she returned. What? She's in prison. Clearly relieved to have fully rejoined the church after her forced abstinence. I am happy for her. I don't know what that means. Yeah, she's in the dungeons. In prison. Clearly not the happiest person at the moment. Alright, we'll embark the fleet. Embark army on the fleet. Alright, perhaps it is time I asked Count Diego to spend some time with me. It is probably the fastest way for me to gain his trust. Wait, I think... Well, yeah, it'd be nice for him to like us more. I will ask him. Alright. So the defensive pact opposing William de Normandy has been disbanded. Whoa! Duke William the Conqueror, Duke of Essex, Duke of East Anglia, heir to the Duchy of Somerset, is imprisoned. It looks like. And Norway. King Harald Hardrada of Norway won that little situation. Instead of William the Conqueror taking England, Harald Hardrada took England. And apparently was able to get the Duke of Normandy's holding. So now you have Duke Ralph of Normandy. What family is he even from? Of the House of Normandy. That William? No, different William. Wow. Well, that history will never be the same. Well, well, well. Alright, so the fleet is on the way. We're sailing down to the Canaries. Sea of Canaries. Canarias? Canaries? Anyway, either way, it doesn't matter. Diego was happy to oblige me. Now that I have some time to spend with him, I'm confident that I can convince him how alike we are. That he stands only to gain from our friendship. We can finally talk in private. Spend a few days with Count Diego, trying to convince your guest of your good intentions. Don't worry, I'm a good guy. I only want to kill my cousin, and my wife's in prison. That's because she has syphilis. That's the best way to treat it. I mean, once she's in prison for maybe a year, we could let her out. I think these days have really helped me getting Diego to know and appreciate me better. We have spent most of our time visiting my domain, but we're on boats, discussing the most disparate topics. Hopefully you enjoyed being far from preachers for once. Or, I wonder if he knows my true intentions. What was Diego all about? Deceit? Craven, lustful, wrath, charitable? No? Hope you liked your time here. Alright, well, hopefully enjoyed being far from preachers for once. Because of our cynical trait. Softened, +10. Alright, so that's good. So, like, Diego likes us more. So we'll stop trying to sway him. Vassals... Oh my god. The armies have been raised too long. We still have time, though. So basically, yeah, you really... The clock starts the moment you raise your armies. So that's something we'll have to think about when we're playing in our Game of Thrones game. Because I can imagine a lot of those wars could go for a while. Ooh. That's some cool armor and shields. It will arrive on the 24th of October. Alright, we'll storm the castle. To load your troops on the boats, bring your fleet to port by ordering it to move into one of your land provinces. You can then move your armies to the same province. Merge them by clicking the Merge Troops button like before. Click the Embark Army button. You can also move your armies onto a fleet at sea by keeping the fleet in a coastal sea province and moving your troops onto your ships. Note that larger fleets are required for transporting larger armies. Well, good. Surprised that my piety and prestige keep going up even though my own wife is in prison. What about the intrigue? How's the intrigue going? Plot power has fallen down a little bit. Alright, we'll need to rope in some more people. The Queen herself. Spouse to King Sancho. Perhaps if we sent her a gift. Alright, good. Oh, alright, the battle's happening. Battle of Lazarote. We'll crush them. To the Honorable King Alfonso, may you live in harmony and contentment. An intriguing scheme, I believe. I will indeed back your plot to kill my own husband. Excellent. Alright, they've broken. We are pursuing them. The battle is won. Fight, little guy, fight! Fight! Slap each other with sticks. When your armies stop in enemy lands, they will start to besiege an enemy holding. In order to fully occupy a province, you will need to take every holding in the province. Winning a siege takes time, and the attacking forces need to be larger than the defending garrison. The more the attacker outnumbers the defenders, the faster the siege will be. The fort level of the settlement will also affect the time it will take to siege. To view the siege progress, select your army and click on the province under siege. Alright, so great victory. We lost 47. They lost 347. The length of the siege is mainly determined by the fort level of the holding, the number of defenders, and the number of besiegers. If the besiegers have fewer troops than the defenders, the siege will be ineffective. Siege ends when the morale of the defenders reaches 0, or the attackers leave or are driven off. If you want to win a siege quickly, you can choose to assault the besieged holding. There's no guarantee of success. However, and even a successful assault may come at a high cost to the attacking army. Castles tend to have the stronger fortification levels than cities and church holdings. Note that if your army runs out of morale and has no neighboring provinces to retreat to, it will be destroyed. That is good to know. So we are constructing siege weapons. We'll definitely go up to like full speed. When your fleet has reached its destination, you can embark your armies by clicking on the Select Troops button while you have your fleet target. Yeah, we know that. Note that when you embark your armies into battle, you will gain a penalty for that fight. As we're coming off the coast. Is that like a little gold bar? Alright, the siege is going very well. The defenders will soon give up. Excellent. Oh, the whole region. Alright, we have won the siege. 47 people, 48 people, one more than the last battle, died in the siege, probably from food or whatever. Alright. You're now ready to make peace. To do this, click on the war button. Yep, we've done that before. Alright, when offering peace, there are 3 possible options. Yep. There are. Alright, victory! So we can enforce demands. We can offer white peace, or we can surrender. We will enforce the demands. King Alfonso has usurped the title of the County of Canaris from Guanagorobla Iba Ordoxima. We victory. Currently, to fabricate... You don't need to fabricate a claim. You've already... Bomb statescraft, I guess. Alright, everyone. Do you have to get on the boats? I think you can just disband everybody. There we go. Alright, the war is over. Now that the war is over, you can dismiss your mercenaries and levies again. Find a new target for expansion and consider placing your chancellor there to fabricate claims. You can also use the Holy War Casus Belli against your Muslim neighbors. The latter can be a bit more risky since any ruler of the opposing religion might join your enemy in the war. Got it. Well, these would be a good target to expand. They are in a war themselves. Excellent. Lyon. Alright, let's learn about counties then. The map is divided into... Never mind. As you might have seen in the laws view, we haven't actually looked at laws yet. Some succession laws require a higher crown authority. Alright, let's look at laws then. So this screen allows you... Well, we're getting close. We'll call the episode there. And so we'll look at laws and stuff in the next episode. Don't forget to go over to twitch.tv/SirSquire to find our live playthroughs where you actually play a direct role in how each playthrough unfolds. We don't just spend time doing the tutorials. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to catch all the SirSquire squad action here on YouTube. But yeah, it's a little bit different of a playthrough. You know, it is what it is. Once we get through the tutorial, then I think things will really take off.